This is the afternoon edition of the Weather Xtreme video. This is for Tuesday, the 19th of August. I'm James Spann. Alabama's trending hotter and drier in coming days with a good old upper high. We all knew that summer heat would at some point show up, and sure enough, here it is. Let's go in there and check things out this afternoon with the Skycam network. First off, this is the view coming from Trussville. A few cumulus clouds around today, but most of the storms this afternoon are down across the southern half of the state after we saw some storms up this way early this morning during the early morning hours. Let's look at the Tennessee River at Decatur. And down south, cloudy-ish on the Gulf Coast. That's the Gulf Shore Skycam. Weather down there looks pretty good, really, for the next 5 to 7 days. A lot of sun. Isolated storms, yes, but most of the days will be generally dry. Highs between 87 and 90 on the immediate coast. There's the water vapor satellite view. Again, you can see the brighter white thunderstorm tops over the central and southern part of Alabama and Georgia. And in coming days, an upper ridge will build in, suppressing shower formation. That was a radar at 232 this afternoon. And you can see big storms from near Utah down to Uniontown and Pineapple and Greenville, then back up to Union Springs and Tuskegee. All of those are moving to the southeast. Not much happening over the northern half of the state. Temperatures are below average again today, mostly mid to upper 80s, but that's going to change. Again, we're expecting upper 90s in here by the end of this week and the weekend, and the humidity will be high, so it's going to be tough out there. There's a watch warning map, some flash flooding problems back in the deserts of Arizona, big floods north of Phoenix today, where there's a flash flood warning in effect. Up north, a severe thunderstorm watch for parts of Michigan, Indiana, Ohio until 9 o'clock. There's a look at the convective outlook for the rest of today and tonight. The standard slight risk of severe weather from near Paducah, Kentucky up to Detroit. And tomorrow, a couple of risks north of here, but you can see that ring forming over Texas and Oklahoma with the upper high. And every day we'll have the chance of a storm, but they'll be pretty hard to find, we think, by the end of this week. And accordingly, not a lot of rain showing up on this graphic. This is the rain for the next 5 days, suggesting rain totals of really nothing for the shoals. Down to about 1/2 inch over parts of South Alabama. This is valid through Sunday morning, and this does include the showers and storms in progress today. The tropics are generating a lot of buzz. We have two little waves out there in the intertropical convergence zone. The lead wave, the guys at NHC have upped that to a 30% chance of developing within the next 48 hours. And the social media going wild. You have these wild hurricane predictions based on the GFS 12Z run, which is nothing more than voodoo. This is the tropical model spread. And again, there's no guarantee this thing develops. There's a lot of dry air out there, and this has been a situation where systems have had a very hard time maneuvering through this zone. If it can survive and get its act together, it will likely come across the Windward Islands, come up across the Caribbean, and again, will it be torn up by Hispaniola in the mountains there? Will it stay south of there? We just don't know that yet. Nobody knows. So all this hype is nothing more than hype. The intensity guidance, many of the models want to ramp it up, but they've been doing that all season. They've taken these waves and they've ramped it up to a hurricane where they just die. So not a lot of confidence in that. We note some of the intensity models really drop the intensity off at about 108 hours. That could be to interaction with Hispaniola. But the one thing to note here, the Gulf of Mexico has gotten very warm. It obviously has not been touched with any tropical systems, no upwelling this year. So if something can survive and get through that dry air, it could intensify very rapidly if it makes it up in the Gulf. And that's a big if. We just don't know that yet. So, don't buy the hype. Nobody knows, just something to watch. It is a long way out there. All right, model fans, the GFS, this is the 12Z run, valid tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock local time at 500 millibars. This is the 12Z run, and I'll show you what the tropics look like here toward the end of the period. But you can see the heights are starting to come up tomorrow, and down below that, still enough moisture for a few scattered storms, but the better chance probably over the southern half of the state. The actual probabilities for our end are only in the 5% bracket, so not very optimistic it rains over the northern half of the state. And temperatures come on up with mid-90s likely tomorrow. Now, this is the NAM. It actually shows some storms over the northern and northeastern part of the state. This is 5 o'clock tomorrow. And it did pretty well today, so we'll see if anything can form up there. This is Thursday. There's that 594 circle. You don't want to see that in August. over southwest Alabama and Mississippi, Louisiana, and that's just nasty old heat. And down below that, we'll be in the upper 90s more than likely. Lots of sun, and yeah, there could be an afternoon storm, but they should be pretty widely spaced. That'll be the theme for the next several days. There's Friday. Now, this is Saturday starting off the weekend. The heights are down ever so slightly, but still, that would probably support upper 90s. And lots of sun, haze, high humidity, miserable. A cooling storm possible, but not likely. And the same thing on Sunday. So a very hot weekend coming up. Here's Monday of next week. No real change. And we note the GFS brings a tropical system down there just below Cuba. Here's Tuesday. The heights are coming down with the trough moving into the Rockies. That's denting down the heat wave, and that's good. And that the temperature levels will likely come down with highs perhaps back in the low 90s by Tuesday of next week. And if this is right, a tropical system is emerging off the western tip of Cuba, coming up toward the southern Gulf. We'll go out there toward the middle of next week. This is Wednesday evening, August 27th, and the GFS wants to bring a hurricane right up toward Mobile Bay, and that's what everybody's buzzing about. But again, longtime viewers here, you know what that is. Let's all say it together, voodoo. Nothing more, nothing less. There's just no skill. Let's compare some of the other models. This is the Canadian. Now, you know, the Canadian does the same thing. It brings a significant tropical system up into the southeastern Gulf. This has it near Fort Myers and Sanibel Island, Florida, on the 27th. This is Wednesday evening, pretty much the same time as the GFS. So it is worthy to note that we have two global models that do approximately the same type thing. But the European does absolutely nothing. I mean, it's got nothing out there at the end of next week. So we just don't know yet. There's something to watch. Go out there toward the end of the forecast. This is September 4th. Heights are about where they should be. And if that's right, weather would be pretty calm with temperatures probably close to average. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video today. We'll have notes in the blog. Next video here by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. If you can't catch us on the live stream or the television side, that's ABC 3340 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening, and God bless.